In the meantime, I want to get an update on the airlines as we await word of what kind of bailout they can be expecting from Washington. Phil LeBeau joins us with more on that. Phil, good morning.
And good morning, Andrew. One of the stipulations that many people are expecting to be in the final language on this Senate relief bill that has been approved and now will go on to the House is that the airlines, well, they'll be getting $50 billion, some through direct grants, also some through some loans, will require that they not lay off or furlough any employees. So with that in mind, get ready for what we're seeing from a number of airlines. They're going to be making cutbacks both in terms of services as well as in terms of how current employees, while they won't be furloughed, they may have their time cut back or their pay cut back. Last night, Delta out with an announcement essentially to the staff. And when you take a look at shares of Delta, the announcement says that they're going to go to 3- and 4-day work weeks. Ground employees, that's about 2/3 of the company. And remember, there's another 17,000 who have said, look, I'll take an unpaid voluntary leave of absence. So of the people who are left, those ground employees, that's 60% of the company, they're going to be doing this over the next 90 days. And here's the reason why, guys. Look at passenger traffic. There is very little revenue coming into the airlines right now. Yesterday, it dropped all the way down. These are the latest numbers in terms of the number of passengers screened by the TSA, down to 331,000, a drop of 85%. The airline industry is now expected to lose at least $250 billion. The other thing airlines are doing, take a look at shares of American Airlines. They're going to be cutting their in-flight services. Now, some of you who are flying will say, what does that mean? Well, in the case of American, they outlined a bunch of these. The one that's going to get some attention, probably a lot of attention, is the fact that in the main cabin, they're not going to be doing alcohol sales. And by the way, if it's a flight which has very few people, they're going to space the passengers out. They'll move you around so that you're not sitting right next to somebody else. Here's where the airline stocks are this morning. Remember, they all moved up about 20 to 25% yesterday, and pre-market they're also showing that they're going to build on those gains because of the Senate relief bill. One last note on Boeing, guys. Boeing is going to be restarting its 737 MAX assembly line. That'll happen in May. And remember, they're waking up the assembly line. So it doesn't mean that in May you're going to see a brand new MAX flying out the door in Renton, Washington. It's going to take a couple of months for them to get the entire production line up and running as they work towards beginning full production in terms of actually building a new MAX sometime this summer, perhaps third, fourth quarter.
Hey, Phil, let me ask you. I saw last night that Delta was downgraded to junk by S&P.
Yep.
How big of a deal is that? What does that mean?
Well, what stands out about this, Becky, first of all, you can expect that the airlines are likely at some point, maybe not initially because they've got this aid package from Washington, but at some point they're going to have to go back to the credit market. So clearly that's going to impact the terms in terms of their borrowing in the future. But what caught my attention is the fact that Delta is widely believed to have the strongest balance sheet of all the airlines. And you're cutting them down to junk status? I mean, we know some of the other airlines have also been moved down to junk status as well. Expect to see more of these types of moves from the credit rating agencies over the next few days.